I discovered my fiancée in bed with my best friend just 7 days before we were supposed to get married. Her family pleaded with me to forgive her, because, according to them, the wedding cake had already been paid for. I left. I didn't look back. I read it. I'm a 27-year-old guy, and I used to believe I had found my forever person. Lena, now 26, and I had been together for 4 years. For the majority of that time, our relationship felt like a dream. She was everything I'd ever wanted. Bright, caring, hilarious, and incredibly supportive. I honestly thought I had found the one. I proposed to her on our 3rd anniversary, during a cozy getaway to a cabin in the Smoky Mountains. She said yes, crying tears of joy. We chose April 5th as our wedding date, exactly a year from that moment. Then there's Matt. He's 28, and for over a decade, he was like a brother to me. We'd been tight since high school. He'd helped me move countless times, lent me money when I was struggling after college, and even looked after my mom last year when I was recovering from surgery and couldn't be there. Lena and Matt got along really well, something I once saw as a blessing. Now, not so much. Planning the wedding was stressful but exciting. We reserved a stunning historic estate for the venue, hired a live band, and Lena's family paid for an extravagant cake from a high-end bakery in Charlotte that cost more than $1,000. Lena insisted on it. She was already moving most of her stuff into my apartment in the final week before the big day. We were getting ready to blend our lives completely. The Tuesday before the wedding, I had an overnight work training an hour out of town. I was set to return by Wednesday afternoon. But I forgot my laptop charger at home, and I had a major presentation first thing Wednesday morning. So, around 11 p.m. Tuesday night, I decided to drive back and grab it. When I walked through the door, something felt immediately wrong. The lights were off, but a pair of unfamiliar men's shoes were sitting by the entrance. They weren't mine, and they definitely weren't Lena's. My first thought? Maybe her brother had dropped by. I went to the bedroom, and there they were. Lena and Matt, in my bed, the same bed where just 2 months earlier she'd cried tears of happiness after we picked out our wedding rings together. They looked up like they'd seen a ghost. Lena shrieked. Matt looked like he'd forgotten how to breathe. I didn't say a single word. I just turned around, walked out, and slammed the door behind me. That night, I slept in my car outside my mom's house. Not because I couldn't go inside, but because I didn't even know how to begin explaining what had just happened. I couldn't sleep. I just sat there, stunned. By the next morning, my phone was blowing up. Dozens of missed calls. Lena, Matt, Lena's sister, her mom, even her aunt. Every voicemail and text was some version of the same thing. She made a mistake. She was just scared. She still wants to go through with the wedding. My personal favorite? But the cake's already paid for. 2 days later, I finally replied to Lena. I told her the wedding was canceled and that I'd be mailing the engagement ring back. Her family lost it. They accused me of overreacting, said it was just a moment of weakness. Her dad even had the audacity to tell me, "If you leave her now, you're throwing away 4 years. That's more selfish than what she did." Unfortunately, that wasn't the end of it. About a week later, I grabbed drinks with another friend, James. He'd been distant during the entire wedding prep phase, and now I knew why. Over drinks, he admitted that he'd been keeping something from me. Something big. James revealed that Lena and Matt had actually been hooking up on and off for close to a year. It all began at Lena's birthday party, after the other guests had gone home. James had accidentally walked in on them kissing in the hallway. He figured they were both tipsy, and it was a fluke. A one-time lapse in judgment. Except it wasn't. He saw them again, and again, but he kept quiet because he hoped it would stop before the wedding, and he didn't want to be the one to destroy everything. They didn't stop. They just got more careful. Those late-night study sessions Lena had while finishing her grad program, Matt was her so-called tutor. That weekend she told me she was helping her sister move. Another lie. She was away that weekend. With him, I didn't trust myself to stay composed face-to-face, so I confronted Matt over text. His reply? I never meant for it to get this far. I still love you, man. Please don't hate me. Love? From the same man who had slept with the woman I planned to marry? The same guy who had stood beside me during my engagement party, grinning like my brother while lying through his teeth. That was the last message I ever responded to. After that, I went dark. I cut off all contact with both of them, blocked Lena's entire family, canceled every wedding arrangement, lost the honeymoon deposit. But honestly, I would have paid triple that amount to not sit beside someone who never truly loved me like I thought she did. 6 months have passed since then. I've been seeing a therapist. Haven't spoken to Matt once. Lena messaged me last month, said she was sorry, said she'd always loved me. I left it unread. I couldn't care less about a prepaid cake. I almost committed to a lifetime with someone who was already betraying me. Walking away was the most painful, most necessary decision I've ever made. At first, I thought leaving would be the hardest part. But it wasn't. The silence afterward was what really broke me. Friends didn't know what to say. Some picked sides and disappeared. My phone barely rang except for my mom checking in or my therapist sending appointment reminders. Mutual friends I'd known for years went quiet, maybe not wanting to choose between us. A few stuck by Lena as if nothing had happened. I felt humiliated, disposable, like I'd been nothing more than a placeholder. I kept replaying everything in my head, wondering how long I'd been blind. Every memory became suspect. That trip to the mountains when I proposed, was she already cheating by then? The birthday party Lena and Matt threw for me, were they laughing behind my back the whole time? It was a mental freefall. Only one person pulled me back from the edge, my little sister, Riley. She never liked Lena. I brushed it off as a usual sibling protectiveness. But weeks later, she told me something that froze me in my tracks. She smiled too much when he was around, Riley said, and he could never meet your eyes when she was in the room. I didn't see it, or maybe I refused to. When the original wedding date came around, I took the day off, turned off my phone, went fishing with my dad, something we used to do every Father's Day. He didn't talk much that day, but midway through the trip, he handed me an envelope. "I found this in your mom's things," he said. "She wrote it for you, said to give it to you before your wedding." I almost didn't open it, but that night, alone in my apartment, I unfolded the letter. Her handwriting hit me like a punch to the gut. She wrote, "Love shouldn't leave you confused. If you ever find yourself justifying pain as part of the relationship, that's your sign to leave. Real love is the safest place you'll ever be. If it becomes the thing you fear most, it's no longer love, it's a prison." I broke down. She'd been gone 3 years, but in that moment, she saved me again. 2 months after everything fell apart, I got a message on Instagram from someone I didn't recognize, Sarah. She said she was Matt's ex. We met for coffee. Turns out, Matt had been dating her at the same time he was sneaking around with Lena. She got suspicious after hearing my wedding was canceled and checked his phone. What she found: photos, messages, proof of Lena, proof of other women too, including one of her own friends from the year before. It wasn't just bad judgment. It was a pattern, a twisted little thrill he got from stealing people who were already spoken for. Lena wasn't the love of his life. She was just the next trophy. I don't know if she's realized that yet, but eventually she will. That realization hit in the most unexpected place, my cousin's wedding. 3 months after mine should have happened. I almost didn't go. Riley convinced me otherwise. "It's time to stop letting their choices shape your life," she said. Lena was there. She looked different, not broken, just dimmed, like something inside her had shrunk. We saw each other across the room, and eventually she walked over. No big entrance, no begging. Just quietly stood next to me while I watched people dancing. "You look good," she said. I didn't answer. "I know you'll probably never forgive me," she added, voice low. "But I wanted you to know. Matt ghosted me 2 weeks after you canceled the wedding. I thought what we had meant something. I guess I was wrong." I looked at her, really looked, for the first time in months. I didn't feel anger anymore, just pity. "You weren't wrong," I said, quietly. "You just chose someone who sees people as toys. And you played along." She blinked fast, her eyes starting to well up. "I lost everything," she whispered. "No," I said, finishing my drink. "You gave it away. There's a difference." and I walked off. This time for good. It's been almost a year now. I've changed jobs, moved into a new apartment. I'm slowly opening myself up to dating again, cautiously, but with intention. I trust less easily, but I trust myself more than I ever did before. Losing Lena and Matt hurt. It gutted me, but here's what I've learned. You don't have to fight to keep people who are never trying to stay. And no matter how beautiful the cake is, it's not worth swallowing betrayal just to pretend you're happy.